Hello everybody. So today we're going to take a look at this little printer that I got, a little label maker. It's called the NIIMBOT D11 and it's super cute, and it's just a little Bluetooth printer that you can use to label stuff around your house. I got it to sort of add some organization to my studio stuff. I've got a lot of things in boxes and drawers and it's hard to know what's in what. So let's take a look at it. I just wanted to do a quick little walkthrough from kind of when you get it to how to operate the app and how to print some labels. To open it, you need to unlock it like this. So you just slide it to the left and it pops open and you will get one roll of labels inside. Now I've already used this, so it's unraveled a little bit, but it will come with a sticker sort of securing it down. You just got to take that sticker off. And then when you're inserting it, you want to make sure that you have the label facing forward and the little view window here. You pop it in here so that the labels are facing down and the back of the tape is facing up. And then you want to kind of put it here just so there's a little bit sticking out. You're not going to get it completely correct, but push it down and you'll just have this little tongue of tape sticking out. Now the first one that prints is always going to be misaligned because it's just so impossible to get it correct. But then once it has started printing on this roll, it should align itself for the next one. And then you want to turn it on. So to turn it on, you just long press this button on the front. And it sings to you and says how happy it is to create some labels. And then you want to go download the app. So to use this little NIIMBOT label maker, you need to go to the App Store. So this is on my iPhone and you want to download it. I've already downloaded it on another device, so I have it in the cloud, so I can just download it. Now this is going to use Bluetooth, so you want to make sure you go into your settings of your phone and turn on Bluetooth. And then once it's downloaded, you're going to click on Open and it will start the app. And it does take a little minute just to get this started. And then it's going to say view the help guide. You have no option but to click it, so click it. And then you're going to go scroll down and select our D11 series, which is the one that I have. So say got it, connect to the printer. And it's going to say, would you like to use Bluetooth? And you can say yes or okay. Takes a second and there we are. So we're all connected. And the first screen that will come up is this default label that's in the printer already. The one that it ships with is this 1240. So that means it's 12 millimeters high or tall by 40 millimeters wide. And now you'll be presented with just some default text. So this is where you can, you double click on here and you're able to write in here and it'll show up up in the box above. So right now we just have this one text box up here. If you wanted to have 2 lines of text, you could do that, and these would be independent from each other. To delete it, you just click on the delete button there. If you wanted to have 1 line of text that ran on, you can write more here and click here and click return. So it actually displays in the little window here 2 lines of text. Clicking the return button doesn't actually execute the text. It just pushes it to another line and then you have to click OK to solidify it in there. So we're back to this screen here. Once you've edited your text by double clicking on it, click OK, and then you have all these choices here. You can make this bigger, you can make this smaller. Unfortunately, you can't put in the exact size that you want, and it kind of has these weird skips. So it goes from 5 point to 5.5, then it jumps to 6.5, then to 7.5, then to 9. So there's no in between there. If you wanted it a little bit smaller between these two things, you can't really do that. Using the arrows up here just changes the text box size. It doesn't change the actual text size. So the only way you can do it is through these here. So let's bring it down to about 10.5. You can also change the font in here. So on the bottom row here, we have align, style, and font. And when you first get in here, there'll be a whole bunch of fonts that you haven't downloaded. So I only speak English, so I'm going to choose the English, but there are some other languages in here, which is nice. And all you have to do to use that font is just download it. So you can go ahead and download all these fonts if you think you're going to use them at some point. So let's just choose this one for example. If you wanted there to be different spacing between the letters or between the lines, you click on spacing down the bottom, and then you can adjust that here. So you can use the slider, or you can use the plus and minuses. The kerning, so that's the line spacing. The kerning is the space between the letters. So if you want a particular sort of style there, or you think the letters are too close, you can add some space in there. And that's how you change the different fonts. If we had moved this around and we had done weird things with it and we're like, oh gosh, I don't know how to realign that, you go down to the very bottom, you click on align to the left here, and you can click on the center horizontally and center vertically. You can also just click these if you wanted to adjust it yourself. But the easiest way to center it is like that. And you can see that we have it perfectly centered in there. Okay, so along with the text, you can also put in other things like little icons and borders and stuff. So let's have a look at that. So let's just change this to be 2 lines of text and move it over here. So see how this is kind of breaking with the T and the O. If you don't want it to break mid-word, you can click on the style down the bottom here and do wrap by word. And that will make sure that when you're wrapping the text, it pushes it to the word. We're going to left align that text so that it lines up with our icon. And then to get to the icons and other elements, you click on element in that row there. So now you have all these elements down here. You have the text, which we just did. We have barcodes, QR codes, tables, images. You can scan stuff. Let's just slide to the next screen. You can do a time. So this is kind of cool. It's actually a date, like use by dates and things like that. You can delete this by just clicking on the delete button in that row. They have figure, which is kind of weird. It's just squares and ovals and rounded squares. So that's all that's in that one. So let's just delete that. And then you have material. So material is where all of the icons are. So this is going to take a second to load. So you have all these different categories up the top here: price tag, apparel, storage, light switch, like switch stickers. Anyway, so you have a ton of these that you can choose. Let's just choose this one, which is a light bulb. And then you can stretch it and make it smaller just by using the blue arrows. So other than icons, you can also import images of your own and icons of your own, but you have to use the image, this image one here. And that's a lot more involved, so I'll probably do a separate video on that. So let's just stick to this right now. But you can also put borders on it, and the way to do that is back inside material, they have these wireframes. So these contain a couple of different little borders, not many, but you can add your own little border in there. So let's just grab one of those so we can show how that works. You can use the blue arrows to proportionally size it, or you can also click on attributes down the bottom, and if you click on free stretch, you will be able to size this to any size you want. But it does skew the image, so you have to be kind of careful. But for labels that are bigger or smaller, you'll be able to adjust your borders to fit the size correctly. Alright, so once you've got the label designed how you want to change the name of it. So you want to go up in the top right hand corner, there's this little cog for settings, and it's going to have your label name here. So you want to go to the end of it and delete all of that and type in what you want the label to be called. So you don't have to actually put in the dimensions of this label. It will automatically put in the width and the height in parentheses at the end of this. So just do the name of the label that you want, press save, and then you want to also press save again, and you need to log in. So if you have not created an account, when you press login now, it will prompt you to create an account. I'm just going to log in and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and I've logged in, and now I am allowed to save my labels. So you just press save. And now that we've saved our label, all we have to do is click on print. So click on print in the bottom right hand corner, and it's going to bring up this little image of what the preview is of the label. Now, as you can see, there's this red border. So it can't print right to the edge of the left and the right, but it seems like it can print almost to the top and the bottom. So just when you're designing, keep that in mind to leave a little bit of space on the left and the right, and then all you have to do to print it is just click on print. And there we have it. So as you can see, it's not really aligned properly. It's cut off a little bit at the end there. So like I said, the first one you print, when you put a new cartridge in, it's always going to be off center. So let's just print another one and see if it looks better. Yeah, so that one's perfect. So as you can see, it's got white space on the left and the right now, whereas it got cut off here. So it just self-aligns itself on the second print. So don't reopen it and realign it, because you'll have to waste another one, because it just does it itself. Another little thing I just wanted to mention, when I take the labels off, I just take them off while they're still on here. There is a little scissor mark here and a little blade, so you can rip it, but I find that it pulls the tape a little bit and sometimes misaligns it. So it's easy just to take it off here, the whole label comes off, and then when tape gets long enough, I just cut it off here and start again. Okay, so let's look at changing the tape. Alright, so this is how the actual tapes come if you buy them separately, and they're wrapped up here, and then it'll have a little sticker on here which is holding the labels together. This is like a little colorful bubble one, which I haven't tried before, and you want to remove that tape. Oh gosh, and try not to drop it like I did. So when you've got your tape and it's all wound nice and tight as you can, you are going to put it in with the label facing forward, so the other side doesn't have a label. And if it doesn't have a label, then you want to just make sure, or if it does and maybe it's stuck on wrong, you want to make sure that the stickers are facing downward. Because this is a multicolored tape with different labels, you want to make sure you take note as to what color the first label is. So this is kind of like a blue, and the next one is sort of a pink color. So we'll wind it back in, close that down. And like I said, when you first print it, this first label is probably going to be misaligned because it's really hard to get it right. But let's just print one out and we shall see. Okay. Yeah, so it printed fine, but you can see that it is pretty far away. Missed some of the label there, and it's pretty far away from the edge. Now, don't open this up. What it's going to do is it's going to self-adjust to where the label ends. The next one should print fine, but I just normally print some little icons because I can cut these and stick them on my journal or something. What we want to do is we want to go into the app, and we want to have a look at the color in here. And I'll have a little drop down in the top right-hand corner up there. See how this slid down, and there's all these different colors in here. We printed the blue, and the pink is going to be next. So we want to print the pink, and we want to make sure we align that correctly in that label, and then we will print it. And look at that, it's totally aligned, it's perfect inside that area, and the machine just self-adjusted so that it would print correctly. Okay, so let's just stick it on this plastic here. And so you're just gonna lift it up, and again it just comes away, and it's this cute little speech bubble. And we can put that here. And then I actually have another tape, which is the transparent tape. And I think I'm just going to try and align the black, because that's the separator, with that there. It should recognize it as a new tape. Yeah, so once I loaded it, this default said this is what's in the printer, so it defaulted to the new one, which is the 30mm by 14mm clear. So that's really cool. You don't even have to search for it in the templates or anything. So we can go in here and start making our label here. Okay, and then let's print this one. Yay, that's so cute. Let's print another one and we'll see if it aligns itself. Yeah, so that one did way better. And have a look, these are the clear labels. Look at it, it's so cute. So these are great, and you can just take them off. Long enough nails to grab it. Sorry, I just bumped the camera there. Can take them off really easily on most things. Paper, I don't think they come off very easily on paper, but plastic comes off really easily. Reposition it, stick it down, and it's great. So I've been using these labels to organize my stuff in my art closet. As you can see, it's really easy to just create whatever you want. You can put icons on them if you want to make them fun. I just used these white labels that came with the machine. But yeah, it's so much easier to see what you have in your supplies. It's great for labeling little ink samples. That 12 by 40 label fits perfectly on there, and because they're waterproof, they don't come off. So I hope this was a helpful video, and feel free to hit the like button if you wouldn't mind, and that helps YouTube identify this as helpful information for other viewers. As always, all of the product links are in the description below. So I think that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!